Do you follow the Premier on social media? And if you do, what do you think of her content? Is it engaging? Does it go viral? Because it must be very, very good. It must be so interesting and amazing. Because on Friday, she picked up an extra 53,471 followers. On the 26th of February, her Instagram account had 34,539 followers. But the next day, it jumped by over 53,000, bringing her to a total of 88,010 followers. And then over the weekend, it dropped back over the last 2 days to 83,500 followers. Surely there's no way someone in her orbit, someone in her office, someone in her taxpayer-funded staff bought her followers. Surely not. Surely the taxpayer, you the taxpayer, didn't pay for 53,000 fake bots, all of whom have no followers themselves, to suddenly boost her account, making her now one of the most popular politicians on social media. So the question today is, did the Premier or someone running her social media or someone from her office purchase these followers? Or was she subject to a kind of cyber attack of bots, specifically onto her account? Look, I'm in the social media world. I've never seen this happen. People who have huge jumps in followers like this get them because they have a reel go viral. In fact, they have to have multiple reels go viral. I might have a reel that gets a few million views, and I might need to have quite a few of those to get an extra 1,000 followers, but not over 50K. And Instagram, when you have the blue tick and when you're a public figure, it's far less likely to be hacked because you have extra security around your account given who you are. Even to have a bot attack on an account with such low engagement is weird. And the reason why this matters is the next election will be fought on social media. The Premier had a really low social media profile compared to Nicole Werner from the Libs. Pauline Hanson's got a huge social media following. She's actually got, I'm not a fan of Pauline Hanson, as you know, but she's got this cartoon that's very popular. Georgie Purcell, fantastic on social media. Absolutely. If that is your wheelhouse, she does a great job. And I'll be speaking to her later in the program. And Jess Wilson has made an impact on social media. But it's a really interesting thing for the government to prove. If the Premier's got nothing to hide and has been a victim, sadly, of this bot attack, show us the screenshots. Show us when you reached out to Meta to say you were a victim of an attack and that no one in your staff or office has ever bought followers to make it appear that you are more popular than you are on social media. Social media is the new election battleground, and this matters because that is where the majority of voters are right now, young voters. And it matters most of all because it goes to the heart of a transparent government, of a government that is honest and accountable. Is our Premier the unwitting victim of a nasty bot attack? That's the question. Or did someone buy followers to make her appear more popular? Now, I've got a video provided to me by a follower who tipped me off to this on Friday of screen grabs of her followers and all the new ones. They're all bots. They're all fake accounts with no followers. So have you followed the Premier on social media? Is her content going viral? It's a mystery, potentially a taxpayer-funded mystery. And we asked for a statement first thing today, confirming she is indeed the victim of a bot attack. And the government gave us the following 5 minutes ago. They've reported this suspicious activity to Meta, is the statement. So here is a list of questions I gave them this morning. Did the Premier or someone running her social media or someone from her office purchase these followers, and have they ever? Was this purchase funded using government funding, or did the Premier pay for it personally? Were these followers purchased and why? How much money did it cost to buy them? And will the Premier disclose this information? So the only statement we could get back is that they've reported this suspicious activity to Meta on the record. So we have screenshots of hundreds of Indian bot accounts that now follow her. And I've never heard of a bot attack that gives you new followers. So do you care? I'm happy to open up to my Instagram to anyone that ever wants to look at it. I've got nothing to fear and nothing to hide. So why wouldn't she? I don't know. You tell me. So what do you think would make an extra 53,471 people follow her overnight? Perhaps it's a post revealing the location of the missing $15 billion that went to the CFMEU and associated peoples, allegedly. Perhaps she could start listing every time the government fills in a pothole. Would that make you follow her? What would make you drop the Premier a follow? Actually, it's interesting. We went to the Premier's office hours and hours ago, more than enough time for them to look, to be honest, they never get back to us anyway. So I appreciate them getting back to us today with a formal statement, which they've just given me now. We believe, and this is in relation to the 88,000 followers that she had over the weekend and the jump up of 54,000 in a single evening. I quote, We believe this is part of a political dirty trick to buy bot followers for our accounts in order to get them suspended. We call on the Liberal Party to categorically rule out any involvement. Late on Friday, we notified Meta of a sudden and highly suspicious surge in bot followers and asked for them to be removed. Well, Meta's yet to do that. They've removed 4,000 of them. So now they're blaming the Liberal Party. I'm going to be speaking to Jess Wilson in a couple of moments, so stay listening. Well, on the line now is Jess Wilson, State Opposition Leader. Did you do it?
Absolutely not, Jacqui. I can't believe we're even talking about this, to be honest. But can I just say, the Premier has been more definitive on this issue than she has about the $15 billion of taxpayer money that has ended in the pockets of criminals. This is something that we do need answers about, because I want to rule out, and I want the Premier to rule out, that not $1 of taxpayer money has gone to buying her new followers.
She's accused you or the Liberal Party of being behind this.
It is laughable, and I will rule that out in every way, shape and form. You know, Jacqui, I have one person who does social media for me, and he does an amazing job. The Premier has a cast of thousands when it comes to her media advisors and her Instagram and her Facebook advisors. We have not got a statement from the Premier saying that not $1 of taxpayer money has been used, but we have had a statement playing politics, accusing the Liberal Party, which is absolutely ridiculous. It is actually laughable, and it's an insult to Victorians. Just rule out there's been no taxpayer money used.
Does it go to the issue of trust if followers have been bought? And I know it's in a very competitive space, because my view would be that this election will be fought on social media for a very large part, particularly when it comes to the young vote.
Look, I just think it goes to, where priorities should be. Priorities should be listening to Victorians. It should be understanding the issues and talking about the issues that people care about. And that will organically get you more followers, more engagement on your social media. I've seen it over the past few months that I've been the leader, my follower account grow because I've been talking about issues that Victorians care about. So I think that should be the focus of any politician, is using your social media to listen and talk about issues that Victorians care about and engaging through that method.
How many followers do you have?
Oh, it's a good question. About 44,000.
So before this bot alleged issue or hack or targeted attack, as the Premier is claiming or her office is claiming, you actually had more followers than the Premier?
It seems so, and maybe that was an uncomfortable truth. But, at the end of the day, I'm focused on how do I make sure that, one, I'm listening to Victorians, but I'm also communicating with them where they are. And we know that the younger that you are, the more likely you are to get your information, your news from social media. So, this is exactly the sort of medium that, we'll continue to communicate on. But really, it's on the Premier just to rule out that no taxpayer money has been wasted in boosting her social media account.
Jess Wilson is the State Opposition Leader. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Jacqui.
Things you never think you'll be talking about.